What is up, guys? Quick announcement before we start this episode. So something happened when we had Coach John Rexroad on here, and Todd he left. I didn't catch it. I forgot to hit the record button. I'm not used to this. Scott usually handles all this. He puts a lot of pressure on me, guys. You don't know how much he screams at me. But forgot to hit record. So I just want to go over what we talked with Coach John Rexroad and was not caught on tape. So real quick, what did he mention? Harry, help me out here. The 5-1 victory.
5-1 victory over Bay Area Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to see if I can find who actually got there was one player that got the hat trick.
Yeah. So definitely shout out to that one player that had a hat trick. Hopefully Harry can bring his name up here. And he also said that another player came out of recuperated from an injury that he had been suffering and was actually able to score. So big shout outs to those guys.
I'm not seeing the name on their social media right yet. But I do know that they had a 5-1 victory against Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be on the information here we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
That for the team, they actually have a supporters group now. They're probably going to look at maybe they didn't have a name as of yet, but it's a group of 10 to 12 individuals.
Mm-hmm.
They had a pretty decent crowd out at Wheatley Heights Sports Complex here for that here. So above average crowd, but it was their first home game since the start of the season.
Yeah.
He mentioned as far as playoffs, and this might have been after that that it's going to be the top three in the Heart, South, and North, and 2 wild cards. So they are in pretty good shape to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But with Samba's in pretty good shape. We asked him about Mac FC. Unfortunately, we got the company line that they can't really say anything for it here. But once he is, we'll be the first to hear.
Harry's really pushing that, guys. Harry's gonna get you something, I bet you.
And ProRail's still on track for it. For the women's, and I know this may already be covered here, but for the women's, they are still planning in North and South initially for the first year. If they can't get enough, they will do the single table, but there will be playoffs. And UPSL National still trying to gauge if they're going to have enough teams in Florida, California, and Texas to have a national tournament like they do for the men for the first season. So it may be like, I think UPSL originally, just had California started out. So, but for him being the Central Conference leader, he mentioned that he expects that, I think, between 2 conferences for that here. Minimum would be 8 teams that he sees, but I think he's saying more 11 to 15 range.
It looks like it from what he's saying. It looks like a lot of people are interested in that. So hopefully that does come to fruition. Another thing I was just remembering, he also mentioned his Genova kids. Shout out to them. He was out at the practice, I believe, before he joined us. So shout out to those guys. Shout out. Sorry. I do apologize, Coach. Please do not kill me. What else? Yeah, just a shout out again to the supporters. They're growing out there. So be looking on his Twitter. I believe we're gonna come up with some sort of contest to name the supporter group, or at least give an idea.
So he'll have to run it by the group.
Yeah.
They play this Sunday at 2:00 at Wheatley, and then the following Saturday night against I forget who they're playing here, but they play the following Saturday night.
7, right?
They got a quick turnaround Sunday to Saturday.
Yeah.
For that here, but we'll have to see. Talk to Scott, see if we can get schedules and see about bringing him back on to.
Definitely gotta bring it up to make it up. Coach, I have a couple of cervezas out there, man. When I see you, I'll give them to you in halftime in one of your games. Maybe that'll help you guys out.
in the parking lot, because I don't think
yeah.
you can have it. It is a school facility, or
at the Valero in the corner.
At the Valero or the
Yeah.
Stripes, whichever the one sits out there.
Probably a couple of Tollies will check them down there while we're pumping gas. Coach, again, I apologize. It's my fault. Yeah, so we just want to give you a quick little update of what had happened. I forgot to hit that button. My bad. Yeah, all right, so hope you guys enjoy the show. Harry, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
But we're trying to catch up on games, and the league has given time for a lot of teams around the nation, because other teams, other states have been getting hit with all kinds of weather problems. So technically, we were supposed to be done by the 10th of November, but that's impossible. That's impossible. So things are being pushed down a little bit, just to everybody, so they can catch up. What's affecting us is football season. Whitley Heights has a lot of football being played on the field there with pony ball, or and then and all that stuff. So that's the reason why we ended up playing. We had 5 games in a row scheduled away, or 4 games in a row scheduled away, because we couldn't get any games. So, but it's the Heart division is nice to have 3 divisions in Texas, and we're going to have more teams in the spring 2019, and adding on with the women's league coming in 2019. We're very excited about that, to be able to put a women's team to play in the inaugural season for 2019.
And, yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you like that segue? Nice segue.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, you kind of put it in like Zidane used to give it to Ronaldo back in the Madrid days. Hey, segueing into the women's perfectly. How's any updates on that, on the league, on the Samba team, on any new teams, Coach?
Yes. Well, as you know, I am the Central Conference Director for UPSL Women's here in Texas, and yes, we just put out a press release for a team called Waco United, and they're going to have a women's team. We also have some more announcements coming out. I would say within the next 6 days, 5 more press releases will be coming out with new teams coming up.
Okay, nice.
So, yes, I'm real happy about that. I'm doing a lot of work to get teams in and talking to teams. We also, just so you know, the runners have showed some interest in putting a women's team.
Which would be smart.
Yeah, very smart. So Mason contacted me the other day, sent me a text. John, sent me some information about the women's, and so I sent that out to him. Also, I got a phone call tomorrow, a brief conference call. 1 second here. Looks like I lost you guys. Can you guys see me? Are we still here?
Yeah.
Okay. I had a little box that came up, said this meeting had no longer time or something like that. I don't know.
No, it's good.
No, I got it.
Somebody on your end, just keep depositing the quarters, guys, so we can keep going here.
Todd, keep it up, man.
So I got a meeting tomorrow with Jenna over at Round Rock. We have a phone conference tomorrow, and she is the general manager for Round Rock, and she showed some interest and wanted some information about the women's league. So I'm going to talk to her tomorrow afternoon, early afternoon. So, it's growing. We have our first tryout for our first UPSL women's team this Saturday over at Whitley Heights. Registrations from 9 to 10, and the tryouts go from 10 a.m. to midday. So that'll be our first tryout. We're really excited about that. We realize that we're probably going to get 95% of local talent there because most of all the college players can't come to that tryout yet. But we're going to have another tryout during the holidays, which we're to having the college players come out and hopefully want to be part of our program.
Remind us again, when's do you foresee the league kicking off? What are the dates, or what time of the year?
I'm sorry, we had cut off. What was that?
When do you foresee the league kicking off? That way, if people are interested, they can know if they'll be able to.
Yeah, we're looking to kick off the Women's League in May. Coincide that the cutoff deadline that teams are allowed to have Division I players if they want to. So we're looking to start it off in May to get those players practicing with their UPSL teams, and we're going to go from May to July, and with playoffs happening in August. Now nationals, I don't know anything about nationals yet, because in order to have nationals, you got to have other leagues around the nation happening. With California building, Florida starting to build. If they're ready to go for next year strong, then that's up to UPSL whether they want to combine. The division winning champions playing national against California champions and Florida. So, but right now we are going to have playoffs within the division here. And once this Texas is done and moving along and built properly, then move on to the surrounding states and get those leagues going. So we're looking at 2019 is the inaugural season for the women's UPSL.
Do you anticipate like a north and south like the men's was set up, or do you anticipate just one division initially?
That's the plan, to have a north and south. Looks like from what I'm seeing with teams being interested, applications, we've received applications. There's a great, I would say 65% that we are going to have a north and south right now.
Nice.
And if we do have a north and south, our goal is to have anywhere between 8 to 10 teams. If we increase more than that, then possibility of doing the same thing that the men's are doing, north, south, and the Heart division. I know that's going to happen. If we don't have a north and south, we're definitely going to have one division. That's for sure. We could, we'll definitely have 5, 6, 7 teams there. The goal is to have a north and south, and it's just a matter of time that the UPSL women's division is going to grow. How can it not? The UPSL name, the brand is just there. These guys know what they're doing, and it's just other women's leagues have not really been growing, and just a matter of fact that I've seen that a lot of teams are showing interest now that we've done the press releases of certain teams already coming in. Always for a league just to start, people always wait to see, okay, I want to see if teams are starting to register. And once they start, it starts to snowball. And we're happy about that. We're really happy. I'm really taken to heart because, down the road, 5 years from now, I don't know if I'll still be the conference director for UPSL Women's, but always in history, I'll know that I started the UPSL Women's here in Texas, and that's just going to be
might be one of the directors of it.
I'm the director for here in Texas.
But at league headquarters, though, overall.
Oh, well, no. California. Technically, I was told by the director, Jan Scarza, that he goes, you are part of our staff, even though you live in San Antonio. He goes, you are part of us. Just we have the headquarters out here. So, I'm happy about that. It's all about soccer. It's all about creating opportunities for players here in San Antonio, for local players, and just helping the landscape. Even if it's just a little touch or big, it's a nice feeling. It's really a nice feeling.
So I have 2 questions. One you probably can't answer, which I understand, but wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't try to prod at least again.
Here we go.
With MAC FC, can we comment anything on that yet, or it's still comment?
As MAC FC is no longer with the league, obviously. Technically, we haven't been really given any more information added on to what we know, what us admins know, and any comments that we really can move forward on. That's something that either the ex-players from SAFC, because obviously we can't shut them up. They can do whatever they want, contact whoever they want, talk to whoever they want. But unless UPSL puts out a press release about it,
which they haven't, that's the reason I'm asking.
They haven't. It's way above my pay grade to question Jan and say, hey, Jan, when are you going to put out a press release? Or Gary, when are you going to put out a press release about it? I mean, it's their league.
Send me those emails. I'll send them that email.
Well, what's funny is I sent them a request because they were getting ready to record for the UPSL podcast, and they said any questions, and I was like, yeah, do you have any official comments on FC if you can? And it was funny, the central commissioner came in and was like, oh, no comment, we can't release anything, blah blah blah.
Well, did you call in on the show, or was it?
No, it was on Twitter. On Twitter.
You should try calling in on the show.
That they asked. So
put him on a spot on the show.
I know me and there's a couple other guys that cover kind of the area here that are trying to dig and see if we can find out a little bit more information than happened.
We want the juicy details. We want to be the TMZ of San Antonio.
I just want to, just to have something official out there. I think, because right now, it's.
I think I'm sure there will be something, but I think right now they have the reasons. I think a lot more investigation is happening right now and I'm sure they'll say something, or we might get an email, us admins, us directors, managers saying, hey guys, we're comfortable. Just go ahead and if you get asked, don't volunteer information, but if you get asked, go ahead, say something. But
well, it is U.S. soccer, and we know that fun things happen, no matter where you're at in the tournament here.
I mean, it's something that just the league needed to do to move forward. Simple as that, and it's like, I mean, it's just like, having a bad marriage, guys. It's either you stick around and you wake up in the morning, you hate it, and you can't wait to get out of the house, and you work overtime because you don't want to see, your wife that you don't get along with, or you just basically move on and be happy. So, that's exactly what UPSL did. And, when they're good, I guess when they're good and ready, I'm sure.
The other question, which I think you can answer, is we're still on track for ProRel next, I think it's spring is when anticipated to come out. I know you're not official in charge of the men's, but from your understanding, that there's no roadblocks or anything that's going to prevent that from happening?
No, no. It's the goal right now is to have ProRel for 2019 in spring. We started with 10 teams spring 2018, moved up to 22 for fall 2018, and right now we're projected to have, I would say, between 35 to 40 teams for spring 2019. And then there is basically just cut them in half and have the ProRel situation. That's why this fall season is very important. Because the teams are going to be evaluated, and the teams that do well, that move on strong, obviously they will be in the first division, and then the new teams that come aboard, and the teams that are lower in each standings would drop to the relegation. But that's our projection is there's no roadblock right now. There's no, hey guys, it's not going to happen or anything like that. It's been positive, and we're told to advertise that because that's what we're planning to do.
Well, that's the goal of UPSL. And that's what I said. I had two questions. One, I figured you can answer just from experience, and then the other is one that, like I said here, it goes to the heart of the league. And
right,
I'm going to start bothering the UPSL Central guy about, hey, does he know more details of how the season's going to affect it or not? So
do it through your burner account, bro. That way you don't get blocked.
Hey, I do it under my personal account. So if he gets me or blocks me, hey, it's me and not SA Soccer Round.
Good. So anything else, Coach, that you'd like to plug?
It's just Samba.
Who's your next game?
I want to thank the fans for, we had a great turnout. I mean, Scott was there. It was a weird day, guys, because with all the rainouts that we had, there was prior to us stepping on the pitch, there were 8 football games played that day.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So, and throughout the day, fans for the kids were watching. So every day was anywhere between 800,000 people were rotating throughout the day from 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get there early and just see how things looked. Obviously, the parking situation was free for our fans that day. It was just hard to able to control that. So we opened up the parking, and I was just a little worried that we were not going to start at 8 o'clock. I mean, we were supposed to start at 7:30, but I got a phone call 2 months before that date if we could have pushed our game down either by 30 or an hour because of the football. So it was a fun day over at Whitley, and despite all that stuff, we had a great turnout, man. I think because the fans missed us, they probably forgot what we looked like, so they came out and they wore their Samba spirit gear, and our supporters group was there, and so we had a great turnout. It was nice to play a night game, and unfortunately this Sunday it's a 2 o'clock game. Only because Imperial FC can only play on Sundays right now due to certain situations with their youth clubs and stuff like that. So all their games have been scheduled on Sundays. And the game on the 17th that we're going to see them is a Saturday, but that's going to be a late game for us. I think we're playing that at 7 p.m. over there in Houston. So right after all their youth game. So, but hopefully it's not too hot this Sunday. I've been checking the weather forecast. They said it's going to be about 75 degrees, so it's perfect soccer weather. And we're just inviting our friends to come out this Saturday. Become that 12th man. We want to grab another 3 to get us closer in contention for playoff, close and more in contention to possibly win the division. So
sounds
we're
great.
looking forward to
Let's make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right now, if you look at the way, like I mentioned, and then you were looking at the stats for how we did last season, we've improved tremendously in everywhere. But going to playoffs would just be tremendous. It'd just be a great thing for us, and then moving on from there.
Do you remember what the breakdown is for the playoffs?
Yes, I do. I'm glad you asked.
Wild card or
no? It's with the 3 groups that we have, with 3 divisions we have. So it's 1 and 2 in North, 1 and 2 in Heart, 1 and 2 in South.
Mm-hmm.
Now that takes 6 teams, so you need to have 2 more teams here. So what they're doing is they're grabbing the other 2 teams, the best 3rd place teams of all 3 divisions. That will finish out 8 teams in the playoffs. That's what they're doing. And they're not. And also they'll work on head-to-head too. So they're looking at points, and then if things are still tight in point structure, they're looking at goals against, and then moving on to goals favored. So basically, the last 2 teams, the best 3rd place teams, would be the wild card team that would enter with the other 6 teams that came in 1 and 2.
So you're actually in really good shape then. Not that I want you to finish in 3rd by any means, but
you probably jinxed it now. I mean,
man, the round table curse.
Hey, we don't know if that's a curse yet. Come on,
that's true. That's true.
So I got probably 80% of my players watching, and then you're saying, so we're in good shape. So right now they're like, oh, coach, let's just stay in 3rd place.
Let's just chill.
Let's just chill.
Say that.
The
further up the table you go,
our goal was always
don't listen to that guy.
Our goal has always been to shoot for the playoffs. I've always told the team, I said, we're going for the playoffs, guys, right now, before the season started. That was our goal, is to play. Anything below the playoffs for us is not a good season. Is a bad season. So we're shooting for the playoffs, and we're going to take it 1 game at a time. Not think ahead, but that's our goal, is the playoffs. we have a very good chance of grabbing 3 points this Sunday. And then the following weekend, we play Houston FC. Unfortunately, that is our first loss. Our only loss so far is against Houston FC. We play them 2 weeks from this coming Saturday. You know, they're a decent team. They're a very good team. But granted, when we head on out there, we were missing quite a few players from our first string.
Well, I think we had you on at that time, and you mentioned that, or you know, that you were, I don't want to say disappointed in the effort, but it was one of those learning curve games.
Oh, yeah.
You guys had gone on to a good start, and then you know, Houston FC at the time, you know, hadn't had that much success, and they built on the win. But you know, that'll be a tough match as they're the team leading.
And that's what I brought up. You know, when I mentioned earlier in the show that we got to put 90 minutes together. You know, they have a very good team. The coach is a little high strung, but they have a very good team, a very talented team. And what really surprised me, well, I shouldn't say surprised me, I really don't know whether, but really surprised me at this level is how disciplined that team is on the pitch. Very, very disciplined. They don't lose their heads when they're down, when things don't go their way. They just keep picking and starting things over. And so they're a very disciplined team. We got to really be, you know, not to move on to forget about FC Imperial, but when we do play Houston, we really have to be up here. Talent-wise, I think we're a better team talent-wise, but we do it here. And also with FC Imperial, because they can surprise too. Mm-hmm. You know, by no means, I don't want any of my players, you know, putting their guards down for this Sunday. It's you know, who cares what their stats, their standings are in the division? It's going in there and playing hard and doing your job and grabbing the 3 points. So, like I said, it's one game at a time. You know, I don't want to guarantee anything, but I'm looking forward of trying to keep another 3 points here at home.
Yeah, most definitely, Coach. Well, we want to thank you, Coach. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us an update on Samba, on the UPSL.
Want an update on Mac.
Unfortunately, you couldn't give us that, but also an update on the Women's League. We'll stay in touch with that as more as you get more information on new teams joining the league and stuff like that. And just one more time, you want to plug in the next game?
Yes, the game is this Sunday, November. Oh my goodness, 4th, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, November 4th, Sunday at 2 p.m. Gates open up at 1. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. versus FC Imperial. They're from Houston, so we're looking forward to a day game and having all our fans there. Hopefully, you know, Gordino, you show up to a game.
Yeah.
Todd's been there, and I know Scott's been there, and Harry, Harry's been there. Harry came with
there. I was on my way this week.
Yeah.
Taking my son and daughter. And they started throwing punches in the back, and so Dad had to put the dad hat on and turn around and
turn the car around.
There you go. Hey, I know what that's all about. Discipline. Believe me, I need to get my players like that. Discipline. But
as much, and they were all crying, "Daddy will be better." I'm like, "Look, I gave you 3 warnings. You kept going." It's like, I want to go see the game.
You gave them 2 yellows.
You to go to the game if you're going to keep this stuff up.
Should have busted out the yellow cards.
Yeah, 3 strikes are out. But, you know, Harry's earned some big points because there was one game during the spring where he just was batting out there 115-degree weather while Todd and Scott were just in the air-conditioned meeting.
Woo!
So,
I was live tweeting. It was easier with the desk.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but
everything.
You can have sweaty fingers.
Harry's always got a special spot here in my heart, man. Anybody that can 115-degree out there and not only that, the kids were out there in 115 degrees.
Had the kids. We went and chased balls out because at that time they didn't have ball boys, so we would go out. They'd go into the parking lot. Yeah, walk out, kicked them back over.
Very good. The first name on my Christmas card list. Let me tell you, man. The first name. So this Sunday, guys, you know, hopefully, all of we'll get the whole roundtable crew out there and you know, I saw Scott. He did a special thing on the sidelines at halftime, which was really cool. I had no idea. I was in the locker room with the team, but that was pretty cool. The highlight reel was awesome. So you guys always do great work, man. I'm a big fan of you guys, and you know, when you show this kind of love and give us your platform, it's tremendous. But not only give the platform to Samba, but you're giving a platform for lower soccer, and that's great stuff. And the kids like that, you know, it makes them feel good, and it makes them feel important and move on and stuff. So that's really cool of you guys. So you know, I'm always here for you guys whenever you need any help or you want me to be on and stuff like that. And hopefully I can get that Mac question answered for you guys one day.
For Christmas, give that for Christmas.
Now we'll be like, hey, coach, remember Mac, you know, from last decade? Oh no, I can't talk about it.
That's not go out there. You know, there might be a nice email, a printed email in your stocking this year with information. Right?
All right. Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Breaking news graphics when you can tell us about Mac.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I'll be honest with you. If we're allowed to if they give us information, yes, you guys will be the first to know.
All right.
Okay. I'll give you guys my breaking news. So thanks a lot for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Have a good night.
All right. Thank you very much. Take care.
Good night.
Thanks, Coach.
Bye-bye. Good night.
All right. That was Coach Rexroth from Samba FC. We got into pretty big discussion there. I thought it wasn't going to go that long, but I mean, a lot of good information.
Sorry, I had to ask the Mac question.
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean,
it had to be asked.
Everybody's been curious. Everybody's been curious about that. Speaking of Mac, I guess I'll say it. So I messaged them a while back ago about the same thing, you know, what had happened. They never replied. Today, I got a good little message on my messenger that they're actually joining the, what is it, Harry, the U.S. Premiership?
We're brand new, and no one's ever heard of our league.
Yeah, the U.S. Premier.
It's a new league that's
semi-pro.
Semi-pro, yeah.
It's not amateur. Okay. You have any information? I know you had the little clip that you shared with us, a little text, right? From their announcement there. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, they announced it. Well, Harry looks for that. They announced it. They're joining the U.S. Premiership. I believe that's the Texas League. It was taken, or the Texas League was taken over.
Yeah, they took over. So
took over the Texas Premier League.
Took over the Premier Soccer League. They are, and this is from Sock Takes and John Leonard, which you can follow him on Twitter as well. But you know, this is going back to the Sock Takes August 1st, new league announced. But yeah, they took over the Texas Premier Soccer League, which is a semi-pro league for U.S. soccer for that here. So not a lot's known about them. They're typically going to be more, from my understanding, more in the Northeast. You know, because they indicate they partnered with American Soccer League in the Northeast, and then of course they took over Texas Premier Soccer. So,
do you have any teams on that league by any chance? Let's see if we can pull up something real quick.
Mac.
Well, Mac FC from San Antonio. I believe I had seen a Houston team.
And I remember reading the press release about the league like a month ago.
Well, it used to have Austin Real Kochemek on it, but they moved up. They used to have Bernice. So according to their last, well, it looks like it used to be a lot of the Heart Conference, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because when I look at their 2017-2018 table on their website here, it's got Austin Real, Bernie FC Thunder, Coyotes FC, FC Knights, FC Waco, MAC, Round Rock, and the Runners. So it sounds like the UPSL Heart used to be through there. Now they got, more, I guess, Barry, Hurricanes, Houston Fury, Houston Regals FC, and Twin Cities are the four teams over there. So it sounds like it's more, but when you're looking at their website, it's not anything that's up to date or anything along those lines.
Okay.
So that's a positive first impression there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're familiar with running into these type of situations with,
Yeah, it's like the
not up
hard
to date.
conference
We're
when
totally
you click
amateur,
on the league table.
Yeah, so
We're giant amateurs in this.
yeah, so looking through their teams right now, they have a team out of New York. They have a Florida team, just really quick, a Virginia team, Hartford, or Inter Orlando, Bay Area Hurricanes, Medford, Orange County, Fort Pierce, Houstonians FC, Texas International, Houston Fury, Gold Star, South Florida FC, MAC. They have MAC on the website, so it has to be up to date. Greater Binghamton, I guess, and Lancaster. And they have some sort of Chivas team in there. They have the Chivas Guadalajara logo, but I'm not sure if they're out of Guadalajara, Mexico. So we'll have to wait and see if any more updates. Pretty sure Harry and Todd, you guys follow lower league soccer, and I think Harry, especially you follow the Soctics guys. So we'll hear more about them here in the future. So yeah,
it's just, and I think this just goes with the lower league soccer, because on their website has TPSL announces expansion to Waco, and it's got FC Waco, but FC Waco is in UPSL, so it's just like on all levels of U.S. soccer, because we have a lack of leadership.
right.
Top, even down at the amateur level, there's league poaching and league fighting, I guess you'll just say.
Yeah, there's a big disconnect with that. Definitely needs to be fixed. When it will be fixed, I don't know. Todd, maybe you can give us an idea, but
Yeah, come on, Todd.
but nobody
I
listens
was
to Todd.
for the other guy.
No, hey, you're a supervisor, Todd. You can start firing people left
Yes,
and right.
Supervisor Todd.
I don't get a vote in the USSF. So hey,
Good.
Not my
I think that might be a good thing, because knowing you'd probably get rid of half of the people, which
Well,
might
here's
not
the
be.
problem.
It might be a good thing.
The amateur teams
what has
voted
that
for
have
the
people
current
done
system
so
in
far?
the last election, so
Yeah. All right. So that was a little bit of the news that we do have from MAC FC. They're out of the UPSL and they're in the U.S. Premiership. We'll get you guys more information as we find out. UPSL scores. Harry, you got some updates on the Runners and Bernie for the weekend scores?
Yeah, so the Runners, they got to play. I think it was a makeup game here. Let me get back to the stats here. They beat Austin Real.
Raul Cuauhtemoc, yeah.
3-4 on the road. So it was a good win for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Bernie had an impressive 9-1 winner over FC Knights at home. So
I saw that, man.
And just to kind of get you updated on the standings.
Mm-hmm.
I know we kind of talked about it.
The hard conference.
Get back to it here. But the big winner, and especially when it comes to the ProRel, discussion, the San Antonio Runners, are 7-0, first place. Really a pretty good distance, because Round Rock SC's played 9 games and they're still 3 points ahead of them with 2 games. And FC Waco's played 5, but they're 8 points ahead, so they got a pretty good distance. The other local team, Bernie Thunder, FC Thunder Bernie, is tied. Is in 4th at with 7 games played at 13 points. So they're going to need to make sure that they, get 3 points for the rest of their games if they're going to try to sneak up into 2nd or 3rd, because I don't think they're going to catch the Runners at this point. Yeah. Points back. The Central, the North Conference. Is led by Inocentes FC. They got 22 points. Irving City has got 15. They played 8-8, and Denton FC Denton's played, got 12 points. It seems like the North hasn't had as many rainouts as the South. And the South here, FC Houston, as we kind of discussed, with 8 games played, they played all their home games, so they got away games left. 16 points. Atletico Cadiz played 6. They're 5 points ahead of Samba, and Samba is played 5 and they got 10 points. So Samba's looking, as we kind of talked with Coach John there, that they should finish top 3 in the league. Now the question is, will they have enough points to finish in the top 8, combined table between the three. So that'll be that'll be the question why it's extremely important for Samba to continue to getting those 3 points.
Yeah, with the rainouts, man, it's kind of hard to predict who's really ahead and who's really falling behind. It sucks that this weather has, people don't believe in global warming.
Well, to me, the team that's still impressive is still Atletico Katy.
Yeah.
They've only allowed 4 goals. They're at a plus 22 goal difference. They played away 4 games, and they've won all 4. Now, their only loss was to Samba at home. But, even if you make up that one game, it's going to be, let's say they win, it's 13-15, and they got a home game against Atletico Katy. So that could be a huge game when they can decide when to finally get it rescheduled. But, Samba's got the prize is there for Samba. But, as Coach mentioned, they're going to have to work together and
Yep.
work extremely hard to be able to bring it home.
They definitely have their work cut out for them. And the runners look like they're going to take it.
I think the runners are in pretty good position at this point.
It doesn't look like they're falling off. I mean, maybe this past game was probably the closest they've come to losing because they were down for a while, and they actually came back and actually won in like the 93rd minute, the 4th goal that they scored. But
Austin's a really good team. Austin Real is a really good team for that. And the Thunder, like I said, the Thunder's starting to, if you're looking at their last 5, they've won 3, tied 1, and lost 1. So they're starting to figure it out. And Coach mentioned, all the rain that we've had. From my experience, and you guys can speak better to this, that if you're not playing consistent minutes and timing and practice, as we know, has been canceled. FC Thunder. I follow them, and it seems like they're tweeting every day that, hey, field 2 is open, but the rest of the fields are closed. So
yeah. So all right, that's a little bit of the UPSL catch up. I hope that we were able to catch up Todd since he has been out of the whole scene for a while now. Let's move on to
but
our.
I do know that Trinity University is up to number 5 in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
They are. They're doing great. They're looking like another, going for another run at the title for the playoffs, definitely for sure. So
and a little.
Mm-hmm.
A little teaser for next week, but Scott, even though he's not here, he's still
still working
here, as I believe Jacob Tingle will be joining us next week when the playoffs are announced.
Yeah,
and be able to talk about Trinity's path to hopefully another championship run for both the men, and I think the women are
doing good too.
Also in line for it as well, if memory serves me correct.
Yeah, we've had Jacob on before, so you guys definitely won't want to miss that. Trinity is one of the top programs in the nation as far as their division or
Division 3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Division 3. So they're a powerhouse. They've been a powerhouse for the last 20 years or so. So definitely tune in next week for that. It's going to be a good one. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on to SAFC. It's an off season. It's been a couple of weeks since the boys in black have played, but we are still doing report cards. Last week we did the goalkeepers report card, and this week we're moving up the field to the defenders, to the defense line. So who wants to take it? Nobody? Nobody wants to give any
grade for the goal for the defenders?
Yeah, let's just go player by player. See.
Well, here's what I want to kind of catch up on.
Mm-hmm.
Todd, goaltenders last week. Any comments that you want to bring up real quick before we jump into?
We gave them a solid B.
As a unit, they got a B.
As a unit, yes.
I can agree with that. I do believe Diego was the better goalkeeper, though.
We gave him a B+ and a B to Matt.
Yeah, Diego B+, B Matt. So, they weren't.
Now, I wonder. Like I said, I think Restrepo was the better goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
But Restrepo did not get any goals from the team.
That's what I said. Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how our season would have been if he could have got some help. Because when Cardoni was in, they started scoring, and we win.
I
wonder how the season could have been if we could have been offensively productive the whole season.
The whole season, yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that I mean, when he went down with that injury, that's when Lance came in around the time, and that's when the team actually, picked up, went on that little run for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, what could have been, we don't know, guys. We won't ever find out. We will never know. But we do know that we did not have a great defensive year as we did last year.
No, we did not. So we're going to go down, and I'm going to go down in order of games played.
Right.
Or minutes played, which is kind of correlates the same thing.
Yeah.
So the first one is King. He started 32 and played 32 games, played a total of 2,870 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him an A. He did have 12 yellow cards.
It's called passion. Passion.
I'm not saying that's as a negative, but
right.
When you're looking at his stats, that's really the only thing that you can really, you could really nitpick about him
right.
on.
Did he miss some games due to card accumulation?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So yeah, as an A, yeah, I mean he was a great defender. He was a great attacker that helped at sometimes. I would rate him the best defender we had all season. I don't know about you guys.
I had him at an A. Yes.
Todd?
I'll give him a B plus. I thought his first half of the season I thought was better than the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was more productive in the first half, but they played him differently. He was much more offensive minded in the first half. That was when we were seeing him shoot up the wings and everything. Give him a B plus.
Because usually he was playing right back, right? But I think we saw him a couple games as actually with a third center back when we'd go back with a line of three.
A couple of games he played as a center back when we had injuries.
Right. So
and he played as a midfielder that one match.
True.
But that was Open Cup though, right?
I don't remember. It was a long season.
So yeah, I give King a solid A. He's definitely one of the I'm gonna go out and say it. He's one of the top right backs in the league, if not the top.
Mm-hmm. So next was the captain, who I call captain, who should have been captain the entire season.
I think we all agree on
that.
Greg Cochran, yep.
32, started 31, played 2,788 minutes. I was kind of on the fence, B minus, C plus, because his role changed with King going forward.
Mm-hmm.
This year he kind of stayed back, and his running mate up front, I don't think they had quite the connection as King and his running mate did.
Mm-hmm.
But on that side of the field, that his running mate got switched a lot more often. So you can't kind of got to take that into account when you're.
But I also think he stayed back a little bit more this year compared to last year, where he was the one that was doing the King role that went.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Jose's back being the host.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I went B minus for the captain, the true captain.
Mm-hmm.
Todd went B. What would be yours?
Mine would be a B. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. So he was a solid defender. I mean, there wasn't really anybody else fighting for that spot anyways. So a B.
So the next one is Sip. Superior played 22, started 22.
Really played that many games?
77.
You know what? He didn't start off playing that, right?
He didn't start out. I gave him an A. I thought as far as for the center backs.
The season was like this. It kind of took off. Like it had a slow start and then took off there towards the middle, towards the end.
Yeah, because he didn't start the season, but to me, I think he finished. Well, there's no doubt he finished as the best central defender that we had. So I gave him an A. Like I said here, just to me, he was outside of King, he was probably the second best defender that we had on the team, in my opinion.
Top
B plus.
B plus. Okay. Yeah,
I gave King a B plus, and they were pretty comparable.
Yeah.
So
I gave Sip a B plus just because he didn't start off the season, man. At times it was him and what's his name, Christian. They were like nowhere to be seen for a while there in the beginning, and then little by little.
A lot of players.
Yeah, and then I don't know if it was an injury or what, but little by little, as he got more playing time and proved, he definitely took over the leadership in the back, definitely. So
we started winning when he started getting regular time.
Yeah, if he would have started the season, I would give him an A, but I don't know. I'm just speaking like that. So
well, the reason why he wasn't starting goes back to Ryan Rochandel, who was the captain at the start. Started 19 games, played 19 games, played 18. Was captain. I gave him a D, and we've had this discussion all year. I don't think he was the right fit, and I question why he was named captain in the first place. Part of me, when we get to coaches, is captain decided by a vote by the players, or was it decided by the coaching staff? Because to me, that makes a big difference.
Now, are you giving him a D because you didn't think he should be captain, or are you giving him a D because of his play on the field?
For all of it. If you're going to be captain, you need to be you need to step up, and you need to be able to lead and perform on the field, and I don't think he did.
Because I don't think his play on the field was a D. He had some horrible matches at the beginning, but it's an out of position for him. He's not a true defender. He's a defensive mid. So you got him playing out of position. He made some mistakes, but I'm going to give him a C. I don't think his play was horrid. I agree that I didn't think he should have been captain. I don't think he displayed that leadership that you expect of a captain on the pitch. But as far as his play, I don't think he was a D.
And I want to reiterate this. This is nothing against him, and his role with the club, because I think he's already kind of transitioned more to the manager side.
Coaching, yeah.
It's just to me, as a fan, as a season ticket member, when he was announced captain, that was a red flag to me, just because I think Greg earned it, from previous years' experience, and I'm not saying Ryan didn't, but I didn't have Ryan as a starter. And you wanted to have the captain being a starter, that had filled the role the year before. And that's why, to me, and I may be weighing a little bit too much on the captain, but I think the slow start correlates with him being on the pitch. You can't, once he started getting less time, the results started going,
showing up,
coming the way.
Yeah, I give him a C also. I don't think he was that bad, but he definitely was not good. That didn't work in favor of the overall team play. That whole captain thing, to me, naming a team captain for the year at the beginning of the season, that's not the way it should be done. It should be game by game. You analyze the way the players are progressing during the year, and maybe if this guy's going to be a team captain this game, it could change the next game depending on his attitude or his play or his show of passion. I mean, the whole thing announcing a team captain, that to me, it's another one of those, maybe a marketing deal, because the whole goal celebration at the end of the last year, carrying it over, trying to make something there that's not really there. But overall, his play on the field, a C to me. He's not a starter. He's not this year anyways. And like you say, he's transitioned over. I think his playing days are behind him now, and he's moved forward to his next step, which is
definitely. He was sitting next to Coach Powell most of the end of the season when he wasn't playing. So I think
we'll see. We know for sure he handles a lot of the academy. He's out there with the boys out there. So I mean, maybe that's his next step, and we might not have seen him next year on the pitch.
Next up would be Felix. Played 16, started 15. Had about 1,357 minutes. I gave him a C+. I expected more from him. He got hurt and was never to be seen again.
Mm-hmm.
He was my Igabaga replacement for Sebastian, and at the start of the season he was getting all the minutes, and then he just disappeared like a few other people that just went away. But I gave him a C+. Wasn't bad, but didn't really. And I think he'll probably admit to it. He probably didn't have the year that he was hoping to have here.
Todd?
Until you mentioned his name, I forgot he even played for us.
Yeah, this guy.
That's cold.
Let's see. Okay.
I can't say there. Nothing stood out as great, but nothing stood out as, oh my God, why is he on the pitch?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him a C. But he, you didn't even hear from him the second half, so
I just don't know how you go from second team USL in
Mm-hmm.
Rochester to being on a milk carton.
It's a system. It's a whole, it's the whole system thing. I definitely, when he first came in, the first couple of games, I saw him as like you say, as the one taking over for Ibiaga. He's a young guy. He definitely went from more to least as the season went on, and I truly did see him as maybe a future center back here that would stay a couple of years here, but it didn't work out for him this year. We'll see if he comes back. Maybe they'll give him another shot after that injury. He can have a whole off season to get well and fix. Yeah.
What was your grade?
C+. Yeah.
C+. So next was Seth. He's listed. He played right. So I don't know if we're scoring him now or if we're scoring him more at the forwards, because technically he's listed with the forwards, but I think the majority of the season he played right back.
He played right back. He played midfield. He played forward a match or two.
So he played 13 matches, had 7 starts.
Let's do this. Let's put him in every category he was and grade him on that play, on that position as we go.
I gave him a C, though.
As a defender.
Seriously?
As a defender, right? You're not taking into consideration.
Defender. And the reason why it was an out of position for him, and I thought for being out of position that he played okay for what he has. And that's
But you gave Rashundle a D and he played out of position.
I don't. There's a big difference going from forward to right back. If you're a defensive mid going to center back, I don't see that as big.
Dude, Mike Seth should have been crying at the feet of freaking Darren Powell, saying thank you for at least giving him playing time. He didn't see any last year.
So what do you give him, Todd? What's your
grade?
You're
not going to C.
What's your grade?
D. D is a defender. D when he played midfield, and D when he played forward. Wow. He is no longer even at USL talent level.
It's just too slow. It's too slow.
And he never fucking smiles. So
you take into consideration personality.
I got it if you're named captain, and I don't think you should be. Todd's requirements are, hey, he didn't smile enough.
Smile for the picture, guys.
Okay, Harry, you were at the season ticket member event. The dude looked pissed to be there.
I don't disagree with you.
Hey, you know what? Maybe he had a Fortnite day, bro. Those are important. Yeah, I give him a C- as a defender. Did the bare minimum that was required of him. Maybe not even that.
He improved after the first couple of games. He was a disaster. But he improved. He improved after.
Would you want him back next year? Would you want him back next year?
Failing grade.
No, I don't want him back next year.
Yeah, we wouldn't want him back next year. That's why I'm giving him a C-. I don't want him back next year.
I don't want him back next year. So,
go on.
Como would be next, actually no. Hold on. Hernandez, the loan from FC Dallas, played 6, started 6, had 537 minutes. He had one red card as well.
Uh-huh.
I gave him
Stupid red card.
Because not enough, he had the red card, which I didn't like, but he had, the last game RGV, I think he was pretty close to man of the match, holding down. He did really well. He's got the talent. To me, like, I don't think we saw enough of him. He's got the talent, but he also had the boneheaded play, with the red card. So I gave him I gave the rest of my guys an incomplete, because if you're getting six matches over a 34-game season, is that really enough to say, unless you do something really outstanding?
But grade him on what he did play. How'd you see him?
I thought he was, well, if we're going to grade him on what he did, I'd probably
did or did not.
A B. I thought, he's MLS talent, so I'd give him a B, but, like I said here,
See, I wasn't sure. I don't think I saw MLS talent.
Huh?
I don't think I saw MLS talent.
What's your analysis of him?
Like Harry said, six matches is hard to actually judge him. He had one really good game, and he had one really horrible game, and then he had some average games. So I'll give him a C.
Mm-hmm. I got a C+ on him. Maybe he could have moved up to the B if he didn't get that red card, that dumb play that he had. But for being from FC Dallas, for being on MLS, I definitely expected better. He was kind of solid at times, and at times it looked like he was gonna make the mistake. He was gonna cause a penalty. I don't know. To me, he's like one of those wild defenders that goes in on all the play. Is going to slide and take you out and the ball, and he'll figure out what happens after.
But do you think if he had more consistent playing time, that would be better? Because you got to remember, I don't think he was getting a lot of minutes up in FC Dallas.
Yeah, that too, or just maybe getting to know his teammates more. That also takes into consideration the way you play, the way. Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming in at the end of the season. He doesn't know Cardoni, who was the goalkeeper at that time of the season. He doesn't know him. He doesn't know Styles.
Yeah.
He was put in a hard situation. That's a tough.
Maybe with more time, we see him improve. He plays for the Guatemalan national team, so has to say something for that. I don't know.
To me, I would want him back because he's that big, thick central defender that I think works well in Coach Powell's system.
The bully type, right? That's not gonna get run over. Yeah, I agree.
Coach Powell has a system.
Well, that's what
I was waiting for that. I kept saying system, and I was hoping somebody would catch it. God damn it! Move on. Let's move on.
I'm gonna hold off on the next one because it kind of surprised me. But Como would be next.
Okay.
6 games, 5 starts, 445 minutes.
I don't remember anything.
He was out there. I'd give him a C-. Like I said here, I don't remember. I know he was out there for a 2 or 3 game stretch, and but
nothing stands out.
He's a young guy.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, but maybe we'll see the growth. That we saw from Presley this year, from year 1 to year 2, but. I didn't see a whole lot in as I mentioned, I gave him an incomplete up front, but where we're gonna give what we saw here, give him a C- along those lines.
Top.
Again, I've got to give him a C. Nothing stands out as great. No great things, no really horrible things. I kind of wanted to see, as someone who likes lower league soccer, coming from the NPSL, being best 11 in the NPSL. Coming in, I wanted to see something. I was hoping to see him. He didn't get the playing time because in our system, we don't have a consistent lineup.
What system? We just said what system?
The non-consistent lineup system. So a lot of our players, especially in that back line, they just got lost this season. And, they'd pop up here, they'd pop up there, and no one ever – especially at the beginning of the season, that consistency that gelling that is so important in that back line and the goalkeeper in the back line.
Yeah.
We never had it.
It was a rotation of players.
Yeah. But once we started getting it, once they brought in Sip, and that lineup started getting consistent, King, Sip, Cochran, then you started seeing a little bit of improvement in play. At least on that end, not as a whole team, and we didn't get the results we wanted. But hey, that's not for me to say. Well, I guess it is because I got the microphone. But like I said,
that's for future episodes. We'll get to midfielders and forwards, and the one I'm most interested about, and the one that will be the most F-bombs, will be for the technical staff and front office.
So Cuomo, what was the score? You see, I gave him a D plus.
See, I can't give him a D. I don't think he did anything horrible. I just don't think he did anything. Middle of the road, C.
So here's my question to you, Todd, and I think you kind of hinted at it the minutes. From going NPSL best 11 going to USL D2, is it that big of a jump, or is it more?
I don't think so.
Is it more the lack of Coach Powell having belief in the youngsters to play them?
I don't think it's that big of a jump in talent.
Do you remember him doing an error or putting himself out there like to?
Well, he had a couple of minor errors. He wasn't perfect because there was a couple. Of
everybody
does.
Positions and stuff.
But the big difference I see between like the NPSL, who's playing somewhere between 8 and 14 matches, is the conditioning. Your body going for 3 months over to 8 months. But he didn't even, what did you say? 6 matches?
6 matches, 5 starts, 445
5 starts, 6 matches. Don't tell me his body got beat up in 5 matches. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens to him, whether he stays or goes. I don't know.
So the other one for me, and I'm skipping one on purpose here, but Chris Christensen started 4, played 4, 345 minutes, released mid-season. When he was on the field, I thought he was,
on the field. You grade him on the field production.
When he was on the field, I thought it was all right, a C+. I'd like to give him a higher score, but he didn't play enough to.
Right.
I gave him an incomplete for only 4 games, but he never played, and I saw him more in the stands than I did in the on the field before he released. And I think it was Todd Todd at the beginning of the season had high hopes. I believe it was Todd that thought that he was going to be pretty solid.
11.
Mm-hmm. That's a crazy drop. That's a crazy drop. Like going from USL best 11.
And he wasn't with a shitty team. He was with Sacramento. He led them in every defensive category.
Mm-hmm.
And Powell didn't even put him on the fucking pitch.
There's our first F-bomb. Yay.
Yeah. Woo. So far I'm under. I need 4 more. From Christian, from all the way going back to the preseason game with, was it New England, I believe? That's when he got my attention, and I definitely thought we're gonna have him and Sip or McCarthy at the time being the mainstay guys. But I mean, from what I saw, I saw a bunch of hustle from him. I saw he was definitely he wasn't Ibiaga level, but he was
But if we would have seen more, and he would have had consistency, could we have seen Ibiaga level? Because
I think we could have, because I do remember like a couple of instances in the early games that he had some like amazing slide tackles where you think he's gonna knock the player down, but he comes back away with the ball, and you're like, what? I thought he was gonna cause a penalty or something, but
But you have to remember, he was playing with Felix at the time. So early on, it was Felix and Christensen, through there, and then I believe it was Felix and Sip that came in, and
it was Seth on the wing at that time too.
Yeah,
so it was a total cluster of a back line.
So, and then the last one, and this one kind of surprised me. what or what was your grade, Todd?
What was your grade for Christian?
A B.
I got a B. I got a B for the 4 games that we saw him. I think he was good.
So the last one to me kind of surprised me. McCarthy played 6, started 6, played 6.
Okay.
It felt to me like he played more than that, but he only played those matches. He was in for 465 minutes, so he played 20 more minutes than Como, which is just, he had the injury up front, and he had the injury, with the concussion, late in the season. When he was on the pitch, I thought he was good. The problem is he couldn't see the darn pitch.
But he couldn't see the pitch last year either, so.
Yeah, I mean.
No,
we have a habit of
played quite a bit together. It was Sip that didn't see the pitch last year.
What do you mean Sip didn't see the pitch last year?
Sip didn't see the pitch last year. Sip got injured against RGV, and it was mostly the McCarthy and Igabaga show.
Yeah. For what I saw on the pitch, I give him a B minus. Maybe he could have played more. He could have gone up to a B plus, maybe A minus. He's a big guy. He would have definitely cleared out some headers out there in the defense. Would have helped out. But
I gave him a B, but he's the guy that
he was definitely a fan favorite, and I think he's in everybody's favorites so far of this short SAFC existence. He's definitely one just because he's been around. What is it? All 3 years, right? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, sucks to see him go down like that. Yeah. Todd, what's your grade?
C minus.
All right. So
let me ask you a question though, because he's actually I'll save this for when we do the coaching, because I think him, Powell, Reed kind of all ties into that, because I'm wondering if part of my reason I wonder if why he didn't start the season out, because he wasn't on the field at all during the preseason at all. And like I said, I heard unconfirmed rumors that he wasn't the most happiest here. We'll just leave it at that with Coach Powell. So
if you're not playing, I wouldn't be happy either.
But this was early in camp.
Oh, early.
This was early in camp, and then he had he had the injury. So that's the players. Now overall, I gave the group a C minus. I was borderline D, but I gave them a C minus because like I said here, I do think they're with King, Sip, and Cochran. I think those 3 that started did a good job, but as far as defense overall, it was off this year. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's to me, I think when you look at the season on the whole, the reason why we're not in the playoffs, outside of my number 1 reason, number 2 is going to be the defense just wasn't there this year.
See, I totally disagree with that assessment, because I don't think our defense lost us. We were losing 1-0. If we can't put the ball in the net, which is required to win a match.
You're smoking crack, dude.
Woo!
Wow.
Okay, so
we couldn't score
early in the season. What about at the end of the year?
Let's do this.
We were so far in the hole. Why were we all panicking back in May? Because we couldn't score a fucking goal.
Take in consideration last year. Last year's defense was the top of the league. Was an A defense, A plus defense. Compared to last year's defense, I see this year's as a C. It wasn't even mid-level defense.
Well, what do you give them, Todd? I gave them a C minus, and I think that was being generous. But what do you give them
overall?
B
as a unit.
B minus.
Oh, you're smoking crack, dude.
I don't think the defense was that bad.
Dude, get the fuck out of here, man.
He's done. Harry's done.
He couldn't score.
So you think, okay.
You can't win a match if you can't score.
But this is my comparison.
Let me read you this top defense. September 8th, we gave up 2 goals against Phoenix. We scored 3. We won. Hey, good job. Oh, here, let me go back a little bit further. Let's start with where the season really went to crap. We were on a roll. We went to
week 1.
We gave up 3 goals we gave up 3 goals to Seattle, 2 to Timbers, 4 to Phoenix, 2 to Swope Park. We came back and only gave up on the road, gave 1 to RGV. We held Real Monarchs to 1. We beat Phoenix 3-2. We gave up 2 to fucking Tulsa. We gave up 2 to Swope Park. We gave up 2 in the must-win game of the year. The biggest game of the year. We got shut out 2-0.
This is the way I compare. I compare to last year's defense.
Week 26 is when you think the season fell apart.
No, it fell apart.
We all know it was.
You want to go into Orange County? How we got rolled 6-0 against Orange County?
Yeah.
Dude, the results weren't there for the defense. Period. The results weren't there for the offense either.
I'm comparing it to last year's defense.
Not a B+. It wasn't.
Compared to last year's defense, being an A, that's an A defense. You think this defense is 1 grade below it? I think it's 2 grades below it at least. So compared to last year's, which was an A. I don't think it's
different players, different seasons, different.
But overall function.
Defense for USL, it's not. And I love this team, and like I said, we went through it. You
guys are basing last year all off of 1 player.
Overall, man, everything was almost one game, 1 goal or 0 goals. We'd held. It was ties at 1, ties at 0. Every once in a while, they'd score 2 on us. There was that 1 that they scored like 4, but
I think I dropped more F-bombs than Todd has this episode. This is not
damn it! I should have bet on you. But yeah, I mean, overall, I guess we could all come to the conclusion that the defense was not up to par this year.
Thought it was a B+.
Would you want the same?
I said C+, B-.
Oh, I thought you said. I think you said B. I wrote down. So C+. Okay. C+, B-. C+, I'll give. I gave a C-. Let's throw that. But
all right.
I thought you said B+ initially, and we'll have to roll the tape.
Fuck no.
Give a B+.
We had Mike Seth in the back line. I ain't giving it a B+.
Real quick, let's keep this thing moving. Just one real quick question, and I need you guys to answer it real quick. No explanation. I mean, a little bit of explanation if you want, but in the defense, who or what position are we lacking? Or would you want for the front office to go after? Center back.
Well, it depends who comes back. If you have Cochran and King come back, it's center back.
Right.
But to me, this if we're saying hey, last year the key to the defense was the center back.
Sip on that right.
Yeah.
To me, you need a center. But I don't think Sip was good. In 2 years ago on the right. I think he's natural at the center back. I think if you put if Sip comes back,
I want out of the 2 center backs, I want Sip as the right center back.
Okay.
And then add quality in next to Sip.
We need someone in the McCarthy play spot that's going to be able to play 30 matches.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
I think you need a big guy there.
They come back, so it don't matter.
I think everybody can agree that. I think out of the defensive line, our weakest was the center back, definitely excluding Sip. Hopefully the team can really analyze this and work on this on the offseason and get us back to where we were last year or even beyond it or at least close to it. I definitely think if it would have been at least a little bit closer to it, we probably would have had a better shot. We probably would have definitely been in the playoffs. But, it is what it is. 2018 was 2018 or 2018 was 2016. I don't know how this is working out. But all right.
You bring up a good point. Which was a better team, 2016 or 2018?
2018, I think. I think 2018, definitely.
2018.
Mm-hmm.
And the name for the San Antonio coaching staff? Kenton Fidel Curvin.
There we go. Scout it, guys.
CCU, Coastal Carolina University.
Oh, that's why.
Sign him.
There you go. Maybe Todd has something there. All right. Another thing I want to bring into attention before we wrap this up is the academy is playing, guys. Don't forget about the academy boys. The big guys, the big team may be off season, but the boys are definitely doing work. Let me see. They played this weekend here at Star Complex. I don't have any scores for the U12s, but I do have. Where did that go? Okay, yeah, the U12s, I don't have any scores. They leave them blank. But the U13s, they were playing Houston Dynamo. They beat them 4-2. San Antonio beat Houston Dynamo 4-2. And the U14s beat Houston Dynamo 5-0. So, the guys that are working the academy are definitely doing good work, are teaching these boys to play. I mean, they played against an MLS academy, so you can take that into consideration. And then the U12s played against Sunday, but again, they don't have any scores posted up there, so we'll have to wait and see. Coming up November the 3rd, the U15s, which are actually in a national, U15s, they start actually like a national league. They go into like a national playoff for a national championship. They're playing Sporting Kansas City U15s. They're playing in the Swope Soccer Village. So they'll be up there, and the U12s will be in Starter Complex this Saturday, starting at 12, and then another game at 2. So go out there, watch the kids play. It's always a fun time. They're definitely doing good work, so I'm pretty sure those are good games. Looks like they're scoring a lot of goals, 4 and 5. So go out there, guys. I haven't had a chance to go out this season. I know last season we all went to a couple of them, and they're definitely fun. And, just support the kids. Show them some love. Anything else, guys, you want to
we have some breaking news on here.
Go ahead.
Austin FC supposedly has deleted their Twitter account. So stay tuned to see what the hell's up with that.
What? Todd, you don't look so happy about that. Were you already a member? Were you already a season ticket member? Or?
So I'm sure it'll be back in the morning, don't get me wrong. But so it's just pretty interesting that on Twitter right now, hey, what's going on? Austin FC deleted their account. So
I don't know. We don't know. But we definitely still have –
Austin has a history of deleting clubs, so what's the matter?
I still think he ends up with Sacramento, and that's how Sacramento comes in.
We'll see. We'll keep an eye on. I know.
That's my Ted Tinfoil theory.
Yeah, there you go. Todd, any closing arguments? Any closing F-bombs? Any closing thoughts?
I only swore fucking twice today, so stop putting that on me. Very screwed up this time.
I heard, and I am gonna re-listen to the tape. I swear to God, you gave a B+ to the defense initially, and that's why I was like, you got to be, that's why I said you're smoking crack, and not that I suggest anybody to do that, but I'll end up just like I did last week. Go vote. Like I said here, it's important. I don't care who you vote for, please go vote at this time. Next week is when the election. I think it pays off if you can vote early. You won't be waiting in the line next Tuesday for that here. And like I said here, you may not think your voice counts, if you're young, but it does, especially on the lower level of the ballot. Those do make a huge difference. So if you can, please go vote. Doesn't matter who you vote for, but just please take the time to go do that.
Todd, anything? Nothing coming up? No. Visit Todd down at the Riverwalk. Give him some more work. What I got is this episode is probably gonna be coming out on Halloween, so you guys stay safe out there. Don't eat too much candy. Make sure to look both ways before you cross the streets. And that's for the kids and for the adults. If you're gonna go out that night, stay safe. That's a lot of accidents happen during holidays or party days. So stay safe.
Paul will be looking for you if you're doing some adult beverages like I am right now. So
Todd, what are you dressing up, Todd? As are you dressing up or no?
He's dressing up as me.
looks like it.
Be at work.
He'll be at work. All right, guys. This has been fun. We will see you next week. Hopefully Scott joins us. Shout out to Scott.
Scott's probably like, hey, I'm done with these guys after this episode.
Yeah. Moving on. Another episode of the San Antonio Soccer Roundtable. We are definitely out. See you guys.